The date is February 28, 1994, just before dawn, and a group of 6 volunteer aviators embarks on a strike mission that defies NATO's no-fly restrictions. Leading this flight is aviator Ranko Vukmirovic of the Bosnian Serb Air Force. His squadron flies Jastrebs J-21 aircraft, machines that pale in comparison to NATO's F-16 fighters in velocity, agility, and armament. The Jastrebs crews attempt to maintain an altitude beneath radar detection, but as their objective draws near, they must climb to 2,000 meters to begin their assault on a munitions facility. As they gain altitude, the outdated Serbian aircraft illuminate the monitoring NATO radar systems. 50 miles distant, a pair of patrolling F-16s receive notification of the J-21's location. Black Flight, you have 6 bogies. Bra 320 for 52 at 7, flanking. Copy that. The F-16s turn toward the contact. In a bid to accelerate the conflict's end, NATO has established a no-fly zone, and the F-16s have been vectored to intercept. Vukmirovic acquires a visual on his objective and prepares his ordnance. The formation arranges itself in pairs, one set following another, when abruptly a message crackles over the radio. American aircraft ahead of you. Dread fills Vukmirovic's chest. He clearly observes the contrails of 2 American Air Force fighters directly in their path. He inhales deeply. I see. Let's go. During earlier sorties, the American jets had merely observed and cautioned the adversary without firing. Vukmirovic realizes if the F-16s had intended to destroy him, they could have struck him from dozens of miles out. But his eyes widen as he watches the 2 F-16s approach at tremendous velocity and thunder through and beyond the Bosnian Serb formation. Ha-ha, American Ferraris! Focus on the target. Jesus, did you see those old Yugos? Despite the intimidating display, the Serbian aviators remain undeterred and maintain focus on their mission. The Jastrebs utilize antiquated technology and still employ optical targeting systems, and as the objective drifts into the retina, the aging aircraft release and discharge their primitive but potent 550-pound munitions on target, hitting them from multiple angles. They dropped bombs. Understood. You're cleared to engage. Weapons free. Roger. Moving to engage. This is going to be shooting fish in a barrel. At the formation's very tail, aviator Crnalic observes the final munitions impact. Target is hit. Copy that. Objective complete. Turn for home. The 6 J-21s reverse course toward their base, but their velocity is inadequate against the F-16s, which sweep in from behind, aligning their weapons on the formation's rearmost aircraft. The aviator switches to aerial combat mode and designates an AIM-120 missile on his right weapons panel. On his head-up display, a box identifies the contact. The F-16 aviator achieves a lock and depresses the weapon release trigger. Fox 3. The missile launches from the wingtip. The AIM-120 AMRAAM radar homing missile activates and tracks the fleeing J-21's radar return, swiftly closing on its target. Crnalic is searching the heavens for the Americans when he observes a massive flash. He wonders if he's been struck, but then he witnesses the detonation on his wingman's left wing, instantly tearing half of it away. The Americans are behind us. Scatter. Run. The 5 surviving J-21s invert and plunge toward the earth. One of the F-16s pursues, tracking them all the way down into the canyons between the Bosnian mountains. Each J-21 pair takes its own route, leaving Crnalic entirely isolated. He desperately glances over his shoulder as he navigates through the landscape, catching the horrifying sight of an American fighter directly pursuing him. He's on my tail. Fox 2. The F-16 launches an AIM-9 Sidewinder tracking missile. It acquires Crnalic's hot engines and pursues him across the heavens. Crnalic, flying low, barely clears some electrical transmission cables. The missile detonates near the cables and his empennage, severing part of his vertical stabilizer, but he remains airborne.
I'm hit. I can't shake him off. He transmits his status, but discovers his radio completely inoperative. Isolated and defenseless, Crnalic glances over his shoulder, anticipating a second strike at any instant. But instead, he observes the F-16 breaking away. Crnalic, respond! They got him. Keep going. Back with Mikerovic, he and his wingman push their machines to maximum capacity, streaking through the canyons. But the F-16 persistently narrows the gap. Fox 3, he launches another AMRAAM, which streaks towards its contact. Mikerovic is still scanning across the sky to spot an enemy fighter when the missile strikes and obliterates his wingman. The Jastreb detonates into fire and debris. Passage is down. The American is on me. He initiates evasive tactics once more as the F-16 launches another missile. It slams directly into his power plant. The detonation shreds the airframe, and flames stream out of the ruptures. I'm hit. I'm on fire. He struggles with the dying machine, hauling hard on the controls and forcing it to climb as it burns around him. As flames consume the cockpit, Mikerovic yanks the canopy emergency release and ejects. The F-16 thunders past as Mikerovic parachutes safely to Earth. The F-16s proceed toward the next pair of contacts. They exchange positions, with the supporting F-16 plunging into engagement, equipped with a full complement of missiles. But their fuel is diminishing, and in moments they'll be compelled to withdraw. Approaching bingo fuel, 2 bandits trying to escape. I may be able to get one shot. Roger that. South of the F-16 pair, Mikerovic and his wingman Goran Zaric have been forced to monitor their comrades eliminated, one by one, in quick succession. Any optimism they hold is destroyed by the appearance of an F-16 emerging over the ridges behind them. Behind us, the pair separate as the American jet closes in. With barely enough fuel remaining to return, the F-16 achieves a lock. Fox 2. Mikerovic observes the missile release from the rail and vector toward him. He banks hard, attempting to evade it, but it's futile. It swiftly approaches from his right and detonates just off his wing. He is stricken, but the shrapnel causes no substantial damage. He looks back, anticipating more, but instead, the F-16 abandons the pursuit, fuel depleted. He's turning away. We made it. NATO command has deployed 2 additional F-16s. Mikerovic glances back up. 2 incoming! Run! 2 J-21s desperately accelerate, plunging down as far as they risk into the ravines. They skim the canopy, racing through the mountains with the F-16s continuously shadowing them and maintaining pace. They glance over their shoulders to observe the F-16s narrowing the distance. There is nothing they can accomplish to prevail. In desperation, Mikerovic attempts a final gambit. Follow me. He turns directly toward a mountainside at maximum velocity, Zaric maintaining tight formation behind him. We pull up as late as possible. His pulse races as the 2 jets head directly toward the terrain. Pull up. The 2 aviators haul their controls as forcefully as they can. Zaric is compressed down by the G-forces as the terrain rapidly fills his swim screen. Come on! Mikerovic's jet strikes the ground and erupts into flames. Zaric looks back. There is no parachute. No! No! The F-16s burst through the smoke, still in chase. He pulls back into a dive, attempting to use the landscape as concealment, but they're far too close. Fox 2. The missile closes the distance and detonates into Zaric's tail section. His fighter erupts into flames, and he loses all authority. He releases the canopy emergency release and ejects, but he is far too low. The parachute has no time to deploy, and he plummets into the inferno of his own destroyed jet. Splash 1. There is another bandit on the radar, engaging. The F-16s depart the area and intercept another J-21, flying low over the terrain. It's Crnalic, nursing his damaged jet towards safety. He's monitoring his instruments when the F-16 roars past. He is overcome with fear and instantly pulls on the controls. His sole strategy is to achieve enough altitude to eject before the American can eliminate him. The F-16
He is overcome with fear and instantly pulls on the controls. His sole strategy is to achieve enough altitude to eject before the American can eliminate him. The F-16 positions behind him, and he grabs the canopy emergency release. But then, the F-16 pulls up beside him, matching his velocity. He makes eye contact with the enemy aviator. The American salutes him and departs. Out of the 6 Jastreb aviators that volunteered for that perilous mission, 3 never came home. Kranadic would later state, "I don't have any bad feelings towards the American pilots. We had our task, they had theirs." This engagement is commonly known as the Banja Luka incident and marks the first NATO combat operation in its existence. Robert W. Wright was acknowledged with 3 victories, the highest tally by an USAF aviator in a single sortie since the Korean War, while aviator Stephen Yogi Allen was acknowledged with 1 victory. God help them if we use our F-117s. Haha, no one told us they were invisible. Watch this film and see how the F-117 was shot down.